let's completely break down your mental model with money and reshape your beliefs and relationship to money. There are 4 domains that money has been proven to help with. Health, higher quality of life, increase in health span, better health care, more optionality for surgeries, treatment, better nutrition is all improved by having more money. But the poor person thinks, nah, I don't want no more money. Money's evil, money's bad. Oh, how do I make it? I don't know. Figure it out. We're figuring it out. You need to, because your health is wealth. And it's the foundation there. If you don't have your health in check, then you stultify your ability to make more money. You suffocate it, sacrifice it. I like that word, stultify. Hey, Google, define stultify for the people.
On the website Merriam-Webster.com, they say, to cause to appear or be stupid, foolish, or absurdly illogical.
Absurdly illogical, stupid. Family. How can I improve my family with money? Well, what if your loved one, like that lady I mentioned with the missing kidney in Times Square, her family looked after her. They said 10 grand for the billboard in Times Square, 20 grand, no problem, no sweat. Your loved one gets sick, injured, ACL surgery. What, they're going to go through the public system? You're going to make them sit. You're just going to sit in the public system for 7 hours waiting. You're going to let your wife go through the public system to have a child. Really? She doesn't get to have a private room by herself when she wants to have a baby. Or you're not going to pay for doulas and things like that to have a home birth if that's what you want. Is that you really going to let her do that? Let your family, that's how you want the birth of your child to begin with. Don't you want a better future for your loved ones, for your future child? What type of life do you want for them? What type of school do you want them to go to? Now is the time. And if you already have children, then you have even more unlimited motivation and fuel, because people just don't think. I have been thinking and preparing for this since I was in my early 20s. I'm ready, but I'm still getting ready. I've been planning parenting, principles, how I'm going to parent, what I'm going to do. People just don't think. It's, oh, look, man, you fucked up in the past. Fuck it. You're here now. Now it's time to take responsibility and do all that must be done, all that can be done for your future family, okay? Innovating. Are you working with mentors to help grow your business? Are you seeing your coach every week? Are you asking him questions? Are you checking in? Are you accountable to me? Are you filling in your tracker? All of that's related to making more money, because if you can't do that shit, how are you going to do this shit? Love. Divorce rates. You know divorce rates are lower? People with more money? I'm going to show you. Happiness. Increase in emotional well-being. Someone who has a higher autonomy to make choices, or someone who's not, who has more money, more choices in your life confers greater joy and happiness, generally speaking. Now, divorce. So divorce rates are tied to job security, age, and occupation. So it makes sense that we see a pattern when we plot it. So $0 is on the bottom left-hand corner, and then we see the percentage of divorce rates on the y-axis, all the way up to 50%. So the poorest people get divorced the most. Interesting. Now, obviously, there's a variety of factors of why that would be influenced. But there is and then once you start making more money from $10,000 to $200,000 a year, they decrease significantly from about low 40% all the way down to about 30%. And they flatline, and then they decrease once again at around the $500,000 mark. And they seem to uptick a little bit, but we have less data points at around that level of upwards of $1 million. So it's not as reliable data. Nevertheless, divorce rates decrease. So you owe it to your marriage and the future person you're going to be with to make more money. All right? What about psychological happiness? So you remember the study? Some of you may remember the study that $75,000 was no dollar value at which stopped. Oh, sorry. The $75,000, and it's like that's how much money you need for like maximum happiness and joy and quality of life. Wrong. They later learned there was no dollar at which it stopped mattering at an individual's well-being. Money matters perhaps more than previously thought. And you can look up Penn Today, Money Matters to Happiness, and you will find this article in this study. I think this is Penn State University, I think. Lack of money is a pain more than having money. You need enough money where you don't lack any. That doesn't make sense what I just read out. I'm just reading what I wrote. Well, look, the threshold is different for everybody. So you're going to have a personal well-being threshold to which your money matters the most. It is clear that more money beyond $75,000 a year is important for well-being. Healthier, happier, better relationships. You could take your person out. You can go and travel. Quality of life's better. You owe it to yourself and your relationships to make more money. You don't need to make millions of dollars. Just be stable. Oh, man. Number 15. It doesn't matter how hard you work. Sort of. On one hand, hard work simply won't make you wealthy. If you work at McDonald's all day, every day, you're working really hard, right? Retail store, hospitality, you're working really hard. You can work really hard. But working on the gym floor all day, every day, you're working really hard. Yeah, it's almost impossible to trade, like you're working this retail assistant job. Maybe you're working in an office as a PA or like an assistant. It's almost impossible to become wealthy doing either of those things by themselves. Why? Because people who struggle for money are performing low leverage activities for their time. And people who are wealthy pick high leverage activities for their time. This is the difference. Now, don't freak out. In the beginning, you're supposed to pick low leverage activities. That's normal. Okay? I picked very low leverage activities when I was a teenager and I was working for nothing. Even when I started my profession, I worked for free. Then I worked for $12, $13, $14 an hour, and now my hourly rate can go as high as $1,000 to $2,000 an hour, depending on what I'm doing and the scale at which I'm doing it. Alhamdulillah. Okay? I worked very hard for that. Understand that. I've given a lot of value to the world to be able to earn that. Okay? Every single day for more than 10 years, because I've been doing it since I was 15, 16 as a basketball athlete. So you need to understand it is not given, it is earned. Now, stop thinking 10 years, think today. Because if you don't have to take 10 years. If I could download everything I knew into 20-year-old Alexander, boy would be where I'm at much faster. Same thing with you guys. Wealthy people choose higher leverage opportunities. This could be doing things at scale. You're coaching not one-to-one, you're coaching one-to-many. You're not trading, you're not just running your own business, you're now investing in businesses. That's higher leverage. You're not putting your money in the bank account by itself, you're now putting it into to bonds. Higher leverage. The amount of money and impact you make is proportional to the amount of leverage you employ in your life. So if you can be more valuable, you can solve problems in a faster amount of time, you have more leverage to charge more money for the thing that you're problem solving. So CEOs are in making more money because they have much higher leverage over the business to move the wheels in the wheels, the cogs in the wheel. Where a cleaner in the same building, in the same company, is extremely low leverage because it's a menial, repetitive task that will eventually be replaced by robots. Some of the jobs you guys will have will be replaced by AI and robots, and also enhanced as well. Not just replaced, but also enhanced. Our roles are also being enhanced. ChatGPT enhances what I do. Midjourney enhances what I do. If you don't know what that is, you're going to be left behind. Which is fine. You don't know the biggest debt all of us pay is? The biggest debt. One of the big mistakes people make. The biggest debt. Oop, it's not there. I got to say it to you. Ignorance. I'll say it again because it bears worth repeating. Ignorance is the biggest debt you will all pay because not knowing how to make $100,000 is costing you $100,000. Okay. Here's a thought experiment for you. Pick a number Let's say you want to make $200,000 a year. Okay, get $200,000 and subtract the amount of money you're making now. Let's say you're making $50,000. Okay, so you're gonna go 200,000, subtract 50,000. That's 150. All right. You're not making 50,000. You are paying life $150,000 per year by not knowing how to make that money. That's how much you're paying life right now. Because, and what you've been paying life, because you could have known. And the reason you could have known is because there are 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old millionaires more than ever. There's never been more females that have been rich and wealthy. There's never been more of every color, ethnicity, shade, and size and type who have been more wealthy, right? The 15-year-olds of 2023 are killers. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them are fucking lazy losers, right? Just addicted to shit, right? Porn, video games, all of it. And the same with people in their 20s and all across the whole gamut. The point is, there's actually never been a higher absolute number of high-level problem solvers, entrepreneurs who are killing it at a young age. So the most expensive thing you pay for is the information you don't know. One more time. The most expensive thing you will pay for is the information you don't know. And that's why you guys are here listening to this, because it's the information you don't know that you're trying to get. And this is free. Imagine what my paid shit is like. This is free. Come on. Now, you're starting off at a good start. All right, you're getting, a good foundational understanding of money and wealth. But now you need to capitalize on that and build a system and build a plan. Number 17. This is a big one. This one is really valuable. And it's something I've entertained doing more of, but I haven't gone all in at. Solve rich people problems. They pay better. AKA find people that value you the most. So, for example, like I said in a few videos ago, remember the example of the cleaner or the gardener, who just gardens or cleans at average Joe's house who makes $50,000 a year and they charge $50 an hour for? All right. Well, you could go to Beverly Hills, or you could go to just whatever wealthy areas in your city. You could knock on doors, make offers, do it for free to start with, show that you can be trustworthy, and then instead of charging $50 an hour, you charge $500 an hour. And then you add things to your services, like you leave like incenses and like essential oils, and you just go above and beyond, and you just innovate. It's like I'm barely even thinking right now, and I'm already thought of two good ideas. You could, let me think. Give me a second. Yeah, there you go. I just had a book right here. So I just took me 1 second extra, actually. You could just think of like, all right, they like books. Like you can leave a book of the week for them. You just buy a new, interesting book for them. And so you just go above and beyond. Solving rich people problems so you can charge more money. Here's an example. If you do a corporate health program or a corporate anything program, and the company's doing $1 million revenue, and you improve their productivity by 20%, you improve their productivity by $200,000 a year. Maybe you charge 10% of that value that you improve. So you make $20K. Now, hold on, that's cool. But what if you do the exact same work for a $100 million company? Then you 100x the profit. How much do you make off that 10%? $2 million. You go from 20,000 to 2 million by working with a company that doesn't do 1 million rev, but does 100 million rev. Solve rich people problems. If you want to fish, consider going where the whales are. But you better have the cojones to know how to fish there. But at the same time, the principles are largely the same anyway. Rich people are just people. Millionaires are just people. Jeffy B, Bezos, Musk, they all need trainers. You think millionaires need trainers? Of course they do. You can charge $1,000 an hour. You can get the most bespoke package for them. So you can sell to better customers. You can sell to more expensive people. Find people who value you the most. And a lot of you, it's just belief. Mostly, you actually end up offering largely the similar same thing. You're just fishing in a pond instead of a creek or instead of an ocean. It's the same offer. It's just your belief of whether you can offer it that. You know, some people won't even consider hiring you if you're too cheap. There's skepticism wealthy people have of cheap things. They don't like to walk into like cheap places because they don't trust it, and because they don't associate their identity with being cheap. It's an identity thing. And I'll finish with this this story. A father said to his daughter, "You graduated with honors. Here is a car that I acquired many years ago. It's several years old, but before I give it to you, take it to the used car lot downtown and tell them I want to sell it and see how much they offer to you." The daughter went to the used car lot, returned to her father and said, "They offered me $1,000 because it looks very worn out." The father asked the daughter to go to the car club and show them the car. The daughter took the car to the car club, returned and told her father, "Some people in the club offered $100,000 because it was an iconic car." And the father said to his daughter, "The right place values you the right way. If you are not valued, do not be angry. It means you're in the wrong place. Those who know your value are those who appreciate you. Never stay in a place where no one sees your value." All humans have inherent value. However, you must first build your value to be able to walk. You must be a collectible car before you can warrant collectible car money. But if you're a collectible car, or if you're an expensive piece of clothing, if that's, just embodying the identity of that for a second, and you walk into these places, and you walk into McDonald's, and you go, "Excuse me, sir, would you like to buy my thing?" And he says, "How much?" And he says, "It's too expensive." And then you go to LVMH or Louis Vuitton. You go, "Excuse me, sir, would you like to buy my thing?" And he says, "How much?" And he says, "Sure." Same thing. Different environment. Big difference. Solve rich people problems if you want to make money fast. Number 18, seek wealth, not money or status. Now, what is wealth? Wealth, if you remember from our previous video, is having assets that earn while you sleep. If you haven't seen it, there's a wealth principles video you must see. A description of wealth, a characteristic of wealth, is having money that earns while you sleep. Now, money is merely a tool to transfer and exchange time, exchange goods and services. Status is your place in the social hierarchy. And so what people will do is, like the earlier example I gave in an earlier video about me getting the car, people will try and ascend the status hierarchy by cheating the system, or gaming the system rather, and renting the car, leasing the car, when they don't really have all that money to be able to buy the car. Now, a part of this can be intelligent because you don't need to buy everything. I think actually renting can actually be a very good strategy, conscious, intentional strategy that can be very helpful. However, people will game the system, they'll fake it, and they'll try and ascend the status hierarchy. And so I'm going to say to you, seek wealth. But what seeking wealth really means is seek to solve problems. Seek to be helpful. Seek to help the human family first before you ask for something in return. See, guys, how dare I ask you all to sign up to my business mentorship? I would love that. Give me money. What for? Why should you give me any money or more money? I got to earn that. And so, look, I don't care really if you do. Like, that's really only for like 1% of people, the 1% of killers who really want to actually make it. I don't need you to do that. But if you wanted to look at an example of like, okay, what could this whole course be for? It could be eventually at the end, I could say, okay, for a special time only, you can now sign up for my thing. It could be for that. There could be a way to do that. And that could because I've helped you solve problems first. And that's used to leverage then into trust, rapport, and credibility to then earn my ability to say, hey, I've just given you 4 or 5 hours of unbelievable money education and wealth education to help you, get on your feet more. Is this interesting to you? Do you think that's worth then exploring a conversation about us doing the mentorship together? Like, that could be a conversation. So that's what I'm saying. For you, if you have your own version of that, give first before you ask. I just want to be clear, that's not why I'm doing this, guys. I've actually seen way too many of you in like severe pain in your situation with not having money that I'm just fed up. Like I'm really annoyed and fed up with the system failing you guys. The system has failed you guys. It's failed you guys with not helping you be able to free yourself by just making basic money. Just like 30, 40 hours a week, making respectable money so you don't have to, you can just move out and just live a decently comfortable life. The system has failed you. And I've seen so many of you like not be able to even work with me anymore because, or for the time being, because just money's that tight. Pause coaching, stop coaching. It's like, man, that saddens me that you're going to self-sacrifice yourself. You're going to say, you're not worth it. I'm not worth the investment in myself because of where my money's at. That's fucking sad to me, man. So I want to help you guys get out of that because I've been there. That's why I'm doing this. It says it's supposed to say 19. Speaking of, perfect segue, ethical wealth creation is possible. Ethical wealth creation is possible. If you seek to help first, before you ask, you can gain wealth. People who have gained wealth haven't all like cheated people or committed crime. Like, you know what? You know why? Because actually, you know what we think? Because when we see rich people, when a lot of people see rich people, it's like with like really nice cars. Like you see a really nice car, right? And a guy gets out with a maybe attractive couple gets out. It's like you think drug dealer. What do you think? Mob boss. Criminal. Money laundering. Like some of you think that. Some of you think they must have escaped the system somehow to be able to afford this. You don't think, oh, he saved his money well. I mean, either that or they're in the system and are getting paid very well for it. Lawyer, surgeon, business owner. And so I want you to know ethical wealth creation is possible. I don't think I'm that wealthy, but I'm a version of at least a version of some a level of wealth that a lot of you would desire and be really happy with. And so it's possible. If you solve people's problems, and there's so many problems in the world you can solve. You just pick one. From water bottles to water fountains to, I don't know, cleaning the water. I say water a lot. I just said water 3 times. That's interesting. It's like you could, Boy on Slut is an entrepreneur who has developed these vessels where he's cleaning the entire ocean of all the garbage we've put in it. Imagine such a gargantuan task. He's cleaning the Pacific garbage patch that's grown in the ocean. And he's made money doing it. I don't know how much, but of course, he has to make some money. And if you secretly despise wealth, it will elude you. Oh, it will elude you. If you put wealth as something that only malevolent, evil people who are criminals or people who evade the system and break the laws and break the system and rules, if you think it's only for them, then it will continue to elude you. I do agree that you have to bend rules and you have to step outside of the system itself to become free and wealthy. I do agree with this. Because not many people get wealthy within the system. These people usually are what we call NPCs, non-player characters. They are just your average citizen or individual who's repeating the same cycle every day, and there is no judgment to these people. But I imagine that those watching this want to be much more than this. And so if you do, you must either step outside of the system itself or learn how to play it. All right. In the next video, I'm going to show you why renting out your time is not going to get you rich and how you can get wealthy and strategies to do so, and much, much more. Don't stop now, guys. If you stop now with this video, we're not done. We're not done in this series. You say you want to get wealthy. You say you want to get out of your situation. Can you at least, if you can't even sit through a free video series and money course, you don't deserve money. You don't even deserve to be free. Stay where you are.